Hello, this is Gary Pape, broker for Century 21 Amarillo Real Estate Team. When dealing with buyers, a lot of the questions that we come across to start with is, now that I'm interested in buying a house and I'm qualified for a loan, just how much is it going to cost for me to get into a house? Typically an FHA contract, which is pretty common today, is going to cost you about 3.5% of the total sales price of the house. But that's not the only expenses you have. You have closing costs involved too. These closing costs will be about 3 to 3.5% more on the transaction, so that's another $3,500 on a $100,000 house. So it's going to cost you $7,000 to $8,000. Now this is just a typical real estate transaction involving an FHA contract. That is not the way it is every time. There's other options, but I could go into it for 30 minutes. Another question that many buyers have is, well, how much do we owe you as a buyer's agent? What's typical in Amarillo, if you're in the multiple listing service, and we'll talk about multiple listing service in another video. If it's in the multiple listing service, the seller is actually going to be paying a commission to the buyer's agent. You as a buyer owe the agent nothing on those transactions. Considered a finder's fee, the seller is actually paying us as a buyer's agent to find you a house. The first thing you need to do, of course, is to talk to Century 21 Amarillo Real Estate Team. But after that is we need to find out exactly how much do you qualify for. How much of a house can you buy? What do you want for a monthly payment? The first question we ask of a buyer is, okay, so how much are you comfortable with on making a monthly payment? Right now interest rates are extremely low, some of the lowest we've ever had. So you're getting a $100,000 house, typical payment's going to be $750, $850 a month. So you can go that up. $200,000 house is going to be about double that, around $1,600, $1,700 a month. Those are the things that you need to know before you even start. There are a lot of people that's going online and looking for houses. Some of these websites that are online are outdated extremely. A lot of times you can get a seller to actually help you with your closing costs. The main expense that you have is your down payment and of course your closing cost. So let's say we write an offer for $100,000 and we may ask the seller to pay for 3% of the closing cost. This is a HUD statement. This is the closing document that's in on a transaction that we had. The sales price on this house was $110,000. The seller actually paid $4,000 of the buyer's closing cost. So now that cuts your expenses to get into a house down by $4,000. You've actually got the seller that's paying for it. So now you've gone down to about $3,500 you owe to get into this house instead of $7,000. So that's another option we have. We have a ton of options and we need to address that as you as the buyer. We know a lot of different ways to get you into a house. Give us a call, 806-353-9878, or better yet, how about shooting us an email? It's century21amarillo@gmail.com.